Happy Sunday, everyone. Good day to you. We are live again. Live show today. Fly in here. Mama Edith is here. Today, na me be Mommy Gio. Na see me so. Okay. So, our man is here, our comrades. So, make I bring and come floor. Thank you for coming on. Please share this program. Me self, I don't share, I don't try. So share them. Let me bring our guest here today. So he's going to be the co-host today. In fact, he's going to start the floor. Okay.
Hello, our viewers. I want to thank all of you for coming to watch our show, and I hope that whatever we say here, they edifies you. Maybe there's always something to learn from, listening to all of us that comes on board this program. So I hope that all of us were able to learn from it. So yes. As we begin to, it's a long journey actually. Nigeria.
It's going to be it's going to be a tough journey.
Yeah, we hope that one day, with all our contributions and everything, because I know that there are so many other social media outlets out there. Once we keep doing what we are doing, that will put enough pressure on these captors. Those people who have captured our state, they will be able to understand that yes, the yearnings and aspirations of the people are against their economic policies and all the other things that they're doing. So we hope that is how it is going to be. So welcome back, everybody, and I hope you guys will enjoy our programs today.
Yes, let's say Baba. Let me just give some kudos to people here. Baba Anthony Ajibola, thank you for coming. Lawo share the program. My Mommy Gio there now. So share the program in Nima. So Mr. Ogba is going to open the floor. Sonny Demi, welcome. Happy Sunday to you. I always say, so if you are here, please leave me comments so that I'll give you a shout out. Mr. Ogba, so please, you have things to give us today. So yes, we are ready.
Thank you so much. What I want to first of all, I want to talk about the way politicking is done in our society, our entire political space. And I sincerely hope that our country doesn't burn down, because recently the spate of court judgments that we are seeing, I don't think it is in sync with the Nigerian people. Justice must be seen to have been done. It's not just about going to one Supreme Court judge, or let's leave the Supreme Court judge of court of first instance. So when you go to a court of first instance, when you go through the judgment, you should be able to be happy and say, yes, this person thoroughly, even if it is not in your favor, you will say, okay, fine. I've been to court here in Canada a couple of times over business matters and all that. When you get the CTC, the judgment itself, when you go through it, you will be able to know that this judge has entertained your plea and also taken into consideration the plea of the other person. You are the accused, or you are the plaintiff, or the defendant. So that is thorough work being done. But in our Nigeria today, we see that judgments are purchased, and we Nigerians are crying, and no one seems to be listening to the people. Madam, can you permit me to quickly just say one small little story here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our people might not be happy, but I will try as much as I can. But our culture is our culture. Way back about 100 years ago, not only in Benin Kingdom, but almost all the African kingdoms, or even less than that, even in the early 30s and all that. That is more or less like women. In some cases, they were forced into marriage relationship. It was common because when Mr. A and Mr. B, oh, this, oh, Mr. B, oh, you have a very, I mean, you have a very good character, and I'm going to give you my daughter or something. So they come together, but the two people, the bride and the bridegroom, they are not aware of what is going on. So when it comes to a point, they match, I mean, they match make them together. And in most cases, the women will always say no, they don't want to be in this relationship. And once that happens, they go to every extent to ensure that it works. But once that marriage is contracted and the man and the woman, they are in the marriage, after probably about 5 years or so, you begin to see a lot of tranquility. I don't suggest that, but there's a point that I'm trying to make from there. You begin to see tranquility in that union. You begin to see that these people are living together harmoniously and happy together. Might be happy, not happy, but however, they live together and they coexist well and they have a common cause. That is the point. But if after about 5 years or 6 years or so, there's still friction, then in most cases, the marriage, they break. So let us go back to 2023 and see how Nigeria was raped. Jagaban was not voted for. And because he was not voted for, a lot of Nigerians, even if you, let us assume that without a benefit of doubt that, okay, fine, Jagaban was voted for. The area I want to look at here is this. INEC had it like, we had about 90 a million voters that voted that were registered voters, about 90 million registered voters. Out of that 90 million registered voters, the total vote was less than the total vote recorded, accredited, was about less than 30 million, which is a 1/3 of that 90 million. Then out of that 1/3 of votes that was cast, the winner had less than 10%.
Yes.
So when you juxtapose that on the entire 230 million Nigerian people, this man has a very slim majority.
Yes.
He doesn't have a mandate to rule Nigeria. So now look at his economic policies. He's tearing Nigeria apart. People are hungry. Recently, I understand that if you are in a place like Benin City, where I come from, you go to the market and you tell these wheelbarrow pushers to push your food that you have bought in the market to your car. They can't away with it. They just go away. You can't find them anymore because they are hungry. We've never had those kind of theft in recent time.
No.
So more, if you look at the story that I'm bringing together, I'm trying to merge the two of them together. We were forced to accept Tinubu to be our leader.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1 year after, let us assume that if, as at 2023, when he came in May 29th, the dollar was somewhere around 500, 600, and if, as of today, it has come down to about 300. If, for example, a bag of rice at that time was about 45,000 naira. If today a bag of rice is now probably about 20,000 naira, Nigerians will say, okay, fine, though this man didn't win, we will wait and see. Probably there will be, we'll tend to just like him and say, fine, he's here for our good. Just like that man that I said, the man was given a wife and the wife doesn't want to marry and all that. So after there are two scenarios.
And then they start to live
exactly. After some time, they begin to like each other and work together for common. So that's exactly where Nigeria is today. But unfortunately, this man is coming up with some economic policies, such as um, devaluation of the naira, which is one thing. I don't know if I've spoke about that in this program before.
Yeah.
That you only devalue your country's currency when you produce. It makes it easier for other people to come to you and buy from you. But if you are not an economy that produces and you are devaluing your currency, you are not doing it for your own good. So I understand that they say that you want to come and it will encourage or foreign investors. With our security situation in Nigeria, who is coming to invest? You and I, we are all we are all potential foreign investors. So if all of us here, because you see, this micro economy, I go to Nigeria. I have invested in Nigeria in the past and pulled out my investment because it wasn't working out. If I'm able to employ 2 people, you are able to employ 2 people. Every one of us here, we're able to put 1 or 2 things there, and we employ 2 or 3 people. Then that's how the economy, that's how it grows. So you cannot just say you are devaluing your currency. I don't think any of us want to go out there. Let us assume that today we have about let's take some hypothetical figures. Let's say we have about 1 million people from a state that is in diaspora. If all 1 million people that's in diaspora, if all of us, we decide that we want to put $10,000 into our economy by investing in one small scale business or the other, you know that how much that is going to translate into? But today, because of the security situation and all that, so no one, not even, they're thinking about, I mean, the big companies are moving out of Nigeria. So all the big companies, I wanted to remember, there's one particular one that moved out. They are also here in Canada. So if you, I don't know if you know the company that makes bleach. They were in Nigeria. Procter and Gamble.
Oh yeah.
Procter, yeah, P&G, yeah. Procter and Gamble. So they moved out of Nigeria. So the government is not even asking why.
That's just one out of thousands. So
exactly. We had Michelin in the past and many other companies that has moved out of Nigeria. We don't have electricity, nothing. I had a business in Nigeria at a certain time that requires electricity and all that. I mean, so everyone is moving out of Nigeria. So by devaluing our currency, you are not really treating the issues. You are not. It's not helping us in any way. So, and again, when you go, the whole reason they are trying to adduce for doing all that they are doing, it doesn't make sense. What makes sense is that if there is corruption, because we all know, because there was one time I was in Nigeria in the Jonathan era, they had a Senate hearing on importation of fuel to Nigeria. What they were doing is that they just look for one ship that has not been used for the past 50 years. They get the plate number, they put it on a paper, they submit it to the president and say, oh, we imported about 10 tons, 20 tons, 30 tons of fuel into Nigeria. We want money. And they are paid. We saw all that. I mean, this news is not news.
No, so, it's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. So all our presidents, since then, no one have been able to come up with, I mean, they are scared to tackle the corruption in the system that is killing our country. So, and that is why we are where we are today. Let me stop there, and maybe there are other things that you also intend to, but I have other things that I would have loved to. I want to talk about Emperor Jared Tenebe.
Oh, yeah. Jared Tenebe. Okay, hold on, hold your thoughts, sir. We'll talk about that when we get to Benin City, Edo State. Mr. Agbedion, we want to say welcome. Welcome to the floor. Happy Sunday, sir. Unmute. Hello, sir.
Happy Sunday to you and to the viewer. Thank you so much.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And my viewers, we are how many here now? 40 something. And I only see one like. What's going on? Guys, give me need the thumbs up now. That's all you can do for me. Oh yeah, now, oh yeah, now, oh yeah, now. Let's go. Challenge. Oh yeah, press that thumbs up button. Oh yeah, put your big finger there. Well, I say, thank you, Mr. Ima. So we were just, we haven't discussed about POS, which is your topic today. We were just into Nigeria and rot. So you want to discuss about Tenebe? Can we do FCT first, then we come to our land? Right, sir, what did you say? Yeah, because what I saw this week, I don't know. When you might measure, is there any cap on this rot that we have? So last week I saw, is it last week or this week? I saw a video, injustice, kekere, why will injustice kekere, you know, attending the ceremony of the flag off for the building, the construction that Wike took from Julius Berger forcefully. So Professor Odi Kalu also slams Justice Kekere for doing that because the land was previously owned by Julius Berger, and Wike claimed that the land was not, the land has been revoked. The CFO has been revoked because Julius Berger failed to develop the land over 20 years. It might not kind of well, you know. So in this, I don't know if you agree with me. I see this deep rot in our democracy, abuse of power, potential threat to the judiciary independence. Because right now, our dia you weapon. You know, with these 10 fingers, they've gripped them. So they have no say of their own anymore. That's why you see all the judgment flying around, like you said. You said judgments are flying around. You see this kangaroo judgment. So my question would be, after, let's just quickly watch this, and I'll ask you a question so you can, I made the video short.
Services to every Nigerian who comes here to carry out business or who wants to reside in Abuja. So that's what we're doing. And let me announce clearly to the FCT Chief Judge, yesterday, I've already informed the CJN this morning as we are seated here, that Mr. President has approved for all the judges in the FCT to have your house owner occupier. And that is why in the next year, we're also going to provide at least 20 of these small houses for the FCT judiciary. Mr. President has also approved that by next year, we should make sure that we also provide for the industrial court, so as they also be part of the benefits of the Renewed Hope agenda. So, and now let me bring to your notice, you have seen this land here. When we are looking for where we get such a land to build, and I was driving around looking for empty land, and I got here, I saw this big land. I saw the big post, Julius Berger. So I didn't talk. I called the director of lands. Who was that land? They said Julius Berger. When was it allocated? They said about 15-20 years ago. 15-20 years ago, nothing has been done. I didn't bother. So I invited the MD Julius Berger to come. He came and we had dinner. I didn't talk about the land. So the next day, he was in the office and he saw revocation letter as a matter of public interest. So he called me, but I had dinner with you. I said, yes, we had dinner, we didn't discuss about land. But the point is that what we're doing is that how would government allocate land for more than 20 years for organizations to develop, and they're not able to develop it? I thank God they did not develop it. And now we're able to have it. If not, you wouldn't have had this land for us to think about constructing of this magnificent building. Now, let me say and thank the National Assembly. My Lord ECJ, I've never seen people who are so lucky. The budget for this project.
Okay, for the sake of time, guys, you're not giving me a like. What's in the happen? And I'm not seeing comments. Oh, I love comments. Please leave me your thoughts so we can also deliberate on it. Baba, I am seeing a lot of rot here. What confidence will Julius Berger have now? If he moves this case to the court and say, I own the land, I have the C of O. It doesn't matter how many years it stays there. It's a landed property. So what right has Wike, because he's the FCT minister, kangaroo minister, what right has he to revoke this certificate of ownership from these people? When I check the code of conduct of the Nigerian judiciary, what Justice Kekere Ekun just did is against that law. They are the one legislating and giving us all kinds of laws that we should follow, but they don't follow. Is it a case of do as I say, not as I do? The floor is for you. Anyone? Mr. Ube, if you want to start that one.
Okay, I will start and take on that.
And again, sir, before you finish, which investor will have faith in us now to come to Nigeria and say, I want to invest, when they know that they will not get justice for anything?
Oh, that's exactly part of the things that I was talking about. That
anti-people.
When you look at the entire gamut of our judicial system in Nigeria, I wouldn't want to come and invest. Even as a Nigerian citizen,
there's no hope.
Yeah, no, there's no hope. As a Nigerian citizen, I have to be very, very careful when I go to Nigeria because anything can happen. So, but let me go straight to this issue with
this question of Kekere and Wike.
You see, it pains me to my bone marrow when I hear people in authority in Nigeria, such as Wike. He doesn't sound like he actually went to the university to read law.
I don't know. I
First
don't
of
know
all,
if he knows what
he doesn't. I'm not saying he didn't go, because there's one thing my father used to tell me. He said, when you go through an educational system, the educational system goes through you. So yes. I don't see this man, because there's no humility. He acts like a land grabber. If Julius Berger, I'm not speaking for any one of them. If Julius Berger do own a piece of land in Nigeria, if you look at your certificate of occupancy, which is C of O, you are supposed to have that land for 99 years. Within that 99 years, it's yours. But you can come back and ask for, for a renewal if you want to. So
that C of O expires at 99 years.
Yes. But there are some properties, especially if there are some that they do for about 25 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when we go back, I don't want to go back to that, but I will just mention a little bit. You see, the Land Use Act of 1978, that's what metamorphosed into the C of O that we are talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go back and say, fine, when such an individual comes on the TV and say, oh, I invited him, and we never spoke about the land. The next day you went there you just go out there and take land from someone just like that. So I don't believe him. Again, when you look at, there's something very common with APC, which is propaganda. So I believe that there's a lot that happened there. Money may have exchanged hands. So many things happen, and they decided that they are going to give it to. So the way we are operating in Nigeria today, even we that are born there, do you think that we're talking about foreign investment now? I am not comfortable. I'm not comfortable going to Nigeria to invest even $1,000 today.
There's no justice. Justice Kekere attended the flag off.
If you remember, in Edo State, there was a piece of land that the Supreme Court gave to Edo State government. That piece of land was shared between Oshomole, the then Deputy Governor, Odubu, and they gave a piece to Governor Obaseki. So when Governor Obaseki became a governor,
yeah,
he handed his own CFO and he gave it back and said, hey,
over.
I didn't do anything with it. So this land is a government land. So when you begin to see the operators of the state,
The rot.
when you begin to see them with this operating with a lot of impunity, because you are a minister, you go to somewhere in Abuja, you just go out there and say, okay, he has never spoken about zoning now, because in geography, in regional planning, you have to specify this area is residential. So he's never spoken about it. He woke up in the morning now and say, this is going to be for judges, because you want to put these judges in your pocket. Therefore, you just wake up in the morning, you were driving by, and on and on. You went, you called Julius Berger. The next day, you went back there and you started developing. I mean, if we are reading that in a literature, if Chinua Achebe, in his Things Fall Apart, wrote about things like that, we would call it a fallacy. So I don't believe in anything that they have said. So, but the only thing that I know is that it is a way of capturing the judiciary. It's a judicial capture.
Okay, exactly.
I leave the floor to my brother.
Pocket the judiciary.
Yeah.
So there will be no justice. Thank you, my brother. Everybody here, well, I say, Sagbabo Konga, you just come in next year, worker. You know that your name is very special. I love it. We say, welcome, Baba Anthony. Who else is here that haven't called? Hey, please share the program. You're many here. I need to see more likes, more subscribers. Please share for good news. If you miss this good news, you won't like it, or when your neighbor do miss it, you won't like it. And do justice, do the needful. Mr. Ima Agbedio, a video here play from still the federal government. Then we now come to Edo State. So this let me play the video and you take on this the thought, okay?
That 14 million is too little for my colleagues. Mind you, these are people who have made politics their career. These are people who earn no other income.
Shame on you.
I'm not talking only about myself. I sit with some of my colleagues who need help from me, who need help from other colleagues, who the 14 million cannot even do to work. I use that 14 million. I can show you, Ruben, I want you to take me on 3 weeks' time. I will provide you an access banking account where I use that 14 million to pay my staff salary. Out of the 14 million, 9.8 million goes to staff salaries. I will provide it for you. An asset bank will bear witness. I will take an affidavit in the court of competent jurisdiction, so it becomes a legal document. So you can take me to court. So let me tell you, out of 14 million, I pay 9.8 million to salaries of my staff in the constituency and in the office in Abuja. And these are money that provided not only for me to put in my pocket. It's not my money. It's the money of office of the senator representing Abia North. Those money is if my aides are traveling, they need to pay transport from there to go to Abia to the constituency. If my aides are sick, they need to get that money to treat themselves. If I am sick, I have to get from there to treat myself. We need to repair the cars I will use, the committee cars. We need to repair everything that we need to do. And dressing allowance is there. Any allowance you talk is encompassing. This is what I said, and I don't shy away from it. And to my colleagues who are senators, that is not enough for them. That is the truth. Because I sit in the Senate,
Baba, is this man, these are the same set of people who proposed 40,000. Even when we told them that when the NLC said they should be paid 250K piece of cake. And they said they will only pay 70. Even till now, if you ask some of the federal staffs or from some of the civil servants, in Yamaha gave me the 70K. These are the same set of people who are against raising the allowance for civil servants. He is sitting here telling us that, oh my God, where is their soul? Where is their soul? Mr. Imagbedio, where is their soul?
Let's see. That video, that clip says a lot. And, yes, and I think that they have lost touch with the common man and the citizens of Nigeria. They have no soul, and the only way to describe these people is absolute power corrupt absolutely, and that was said by, I think it was Lord Asham back in the 19th century, and that is still playing out today from the area of ancient civilization to now the modern day civilization. So what you see with these people is arrogancy,
soulless,
and total oblivious of the fact of what is happening in the society. Now you're telling me where a country where you have 98% of the population cannot afford a 3 square meal in a day. And then you have these senators now taking home. Again, by the way, I'm not even sure now, the figure keep fluctuating. Some might say 40 million, some might say 28 million. And in all of these comparisons, you have shoe allowance, you have newspaper allowance, you have gas allowance, you have maid allowance, you have maintenance allowance, you have food allowance, you have recess allowance, you have ESCO allowance, you have all of these things. And then from what I was looking at the other day, I think there was a guy that Apathy was interviewing, and his figure was about 28 million. And he was still saying, he was looking straight at the camera to say, trust me, it's not enough. And then it just blows my mind how far reach that they have gone away from the real citizens of the state. Now, how do you now compare that to a common citizen who now the government is saying we're going to pay them 70,000? Kudos to Edo State governor for doing that. But even at 70,000, you look at a bag of rice for 100,000. So it just does not add up. And these people, aside from these senators, and you know what they're doing? Senators, these are past governors, past ministers. They come back again to senators because they don't want to retire. They don't want to give room for the new generation to grow. And then now you wonder, in a country like this, where is it going to end? Do we have a future? Does Nigeria have a future? I don't even know if after 2024, 25, by 2027, if Nigeria will still be in existence again, will still be in a map with the way things are going with these people. Because I'll tell you, the way the government and the parastatals and the senators and the House of Rep and the legislative executive is running Nigeria, this is not sustainable. And it's not possible. There's no way. It's no way because
hello, sir. Or maybe
he might be having some technical. He might be having some technical problems.
Let me quickly give kudos to IA. He just gave us $2.79 Canadian. Thank you, IA.
Kudos to him. So,
$2.79. So thank you for the stars. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate. Thank you, IA. I appreciate you a lot. It's a greetings area, Mama. Enjoy you and your comrades. Thank you. So he says, thank you, comrades. Thank you. You can continue, sir.
So it's actually not sustainable. I'm not sure a country where we don't produce anything, we don't export. The only thing that we export is the crude oil. But the reason why they export the crude oil is for their own pocket, bring it outside to Qatar and then bring it back again to sell to us. So in a critical sense of looking at things, that is not export again. And then all we do is import. And then I want to make a comparison to this part of the world in Canada and US. The last I checked, the salary of the United States president, the most powerful man in the world, is $144,000. And that $144,000 has been like that for the past 10 years. Am I hearing increase? But then in comparison to the salary of just a senator in Nigeria. Now, the House of the House of Assembly here, the Senate House here, the MP here are making between $94,000 to $124,000 a year.
Yes.
That's what they are making. Our MP here, that's what they are making. And these are lawyers, these are barristers, these are well-learned people. These are people that go to the grassroots and talk to the people and make things happen. And then now, and this is a country that produces, that manufacture, that export. And then when you look at Nigeria, where we don't produce, we don't manufacture, all we do is import, and we have nothing to give away. And then you have a senator earning 20 million, and the woman here said, and then 28 million, and he's still saying it's not enough. It's a mind-boggling. It's a mind. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure at what content, what adage to use to describe these people. And I think you said it right. The only way to describe them is they have no soul. Total arrogancy. Total, completely, extremely arrogancy. Without any iota of what is happening, totally disconnected from the people. So I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but the thing is, this is not sustainable. We cannot go. Something's got to give one way or the other. I don't know what that is, even though I have in my mind what I think will be at the end. But I think for someone like me, who is a social scientist, who is more of a liberal, who believe in democracy, who believe in equity, justice, and fairness. But when you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, at some point, you want to keep a blind eye and say, screw equity, screw justice, screw all of these democracy terminology. And then the only thing that works for Nigeria, that I think will work for Nigeria right now, or moving forward, it may just be a revolution. I'm sorry. But if Nigeria continues like this, and that would be the only solution.
It's going to bury Nigeria.
It's just going. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. My viewers, we are not trying to be pessimist here. We are not pessimistic. It's what it is. Here on this platform is truth without borders. We are not afraid to say the truth, but still we do not add or we remove. It may be bitter to you in your ears, in your why, madam, they bring good news. It's not my fault, it's what is happening. I cannot paint it. Now you're talking about this Kalu matter, see me having goosebumps because I just think that they don't have a soul. Paying 70,000 with millions of naira on Marseille. How much does he want to be paid? 100 billion? How come these people are so soulless and we are docile over this? The more docile we become, the more they now trump on us and say they are the hawks. No more hoho. It's just, let's not keep flogging this case. I'm just pained. Like personally, I am pained.
Thanks, Mr. Agbidion. I want to add to what you have just said. You see, when Senator Uzo Kalu, he's talking about salary. He's talking about salary now. When you talk about constituency projects, the the money that was given to the current Senate president, I think it was close to about 15 billion.
Oh,
This
outside of their salaries, oh.
yeah, no, we are not talking about salary now.
Oh.
So all these senators, they earn billions in constituency projects.
At the end of the day.
So these billions, they don't account for it.
I mean, no, Neyanta.
Let me bust our bubble a little bit here, because Senator Orohide, Matthew Orohide.
Matthew. No,
he was the senator before Nada Imaswen,
Mr. Mudia. Whoever no Tana, okay, continue. And I get up there because I really love it. And you no way. You know, the senators are past governors. 94% of them are past governors. Are they not receiving pension?
That's what I just said earlier.
Oh, yeah. See, what happened is that
on top of all this, you need pension.
The state capture that we're talking about, state capture, like we are saying, these people, they have it. Yeah, they have a plan. Because they have a plan, so they know what they intend to do. It becomes a retirement home for all our past governors. That's what they're intending to do. Look at our Oshomole. Now he's ending up there. And how are they able to do this? Because of that same thing that we always talk about. I thank God that there's social media. Because if not social media, the mainstream media they've been intimidated to the point that they have given up. So when you look at the Senate, the composition of the Senate now, even the Senate president, where did he come from? Do you know that the Senate president did not take part in the primaries? He didn't contest to be in the primaries, but eventually he ended up in the Senate. Senator Ahmed Lawan, who wanted to be the president of Nigeria, at the same time did not take any senatorial form to be a senator in Nigeria. But today he has been returned back to the Senate. So all these things that we are looking at. So when I just spoke briefly about Orohide, when you go to, I know him. So go to, where's our constituency project? Let us go back from the days of Daisy Ihanire Danjuma till today. Where's our constituency project in Edo South? There's none. Absolutely none. What Orohide did is put some about 50,000 naira street lights and all that. Then he buys some bike. No, again, he has a plan. What is his plan? They want to hope that they will return and go back to the Senate, because Nada Imaswen was one of his people carrying his bags and stuff like that. So all these things is a plan. That's state capture. That's what all of us should try as much as we can to because these are all agents of the deception. So their constituency project, no senator. Look at when Akpakomiza was coming. He said he did some constituency project. What happened to his constituency project? People went over there and opened up the tap. They put a stanchion up there. There's nothing coming out.
Okay, I hear you.
So we've seen all these people across board, not just Neda. Sorry, not this Uzo Kalu. This is a man who
he can talk, so he has to come out on TV.
He was convicted by. Yeah, he was convicted. Do you know that?
He was. He was.
Exactly. So when you see all these people, what are they articulating for the Nigerian public? For the Nigerian people? It's absolutely no.
Get it.
There's nothing they can advocate. So that is why some of us who are able to see a little bit far and say, hey, the way where we are going is not where we are supposed to go. That is the reason why I put Aswan Godalo's hat on my head. Otherwise, I won't. Because I know that if we go the trajectory that we have today, that is not where we are supposed to go. And I can assure all our viewers that Tinubu will not be able to give us anything. Live there for 20 years. It is what it is. You can't change.
It's not sustainable. Let's say it's not sustainable. Let me take a few comments. Baba Ajibola, Baba Ajibola, you were looking to donate to our channel the other day. There is a star button there on that comment section. you see the star button, you press it on the comment section down to your right, and you press and you see super chats. So everyone watching, if you want to donate to this channel to keep it going, you are free, you are welcome. I say thank you. So just press that button there, you see super chat, buy super chat, and donate to Adobe Pride TV. So it's going to help us to bring more news, to stay glued to the truth. Say, or where Matthew Roide, aka Awaga, Baba, where say. Friend, there's a comment I want to take here. Advocate for good governance, blessed mama. I saw this comment. I wanted you to you know, Wilson or Rosaye, Abokia. I hope you have liked this show and you have also shared the program. Please, if you haven't subscribed, this is your good time so that you don't forget. Hit that button. Ahasayo is free. Okay, for you is free. Thank you, madam, for the opportunity to comment on this important topic. I advise Julius Berger to take them to court. They should not leave the matter like that. Let it be on record. It takes them to justice in Baba, in one word, Baba, is this going to go anywhere? Will this fly? Mr. Agbedio, will this fly?
I'll tell you what it is.
It will not fly.
Whether or not on a face value, if we imagine or think that it's not going to fly, I don't think that suffices not for Julius Berger not to do anything.
Okay.
I support the caller, the contributor. Okay. I think the Julius Berger should do the needful. Okay. They should go to court. Like my brother rightly said, CFO is usually, as constituted, is supposed to be 99 years. And to revoke a CFO, there has to be a violation of the land policies. I.e., if the land is not supposed to be where is suited, let's say there's a ravine, there's a power line, or the soil is dangerous to people, it's inhabitable, and all has been allocated for schools or hospitals or road or something, government road, things like that. Then the government can come in, but with a proper procedure. There's a procedure that has to be followed, where a letter has to be written, a reason has to be given, time has to be given, and sometimes there is a compensation to be paid to the owner. But not this unilaterally by this man who has become a demigod, who has become Lord, who has become so arrogant, so full of himself, without any guardrail at all to say, well, I was just driving by and I saw a land. I was just wondering, what land is this? But again, that tells something too, that if a minister just come up to say, I was just driving by, there's so much in there that I'm reading that is not telling us, just like my brother said, there's so much in there. Because, and you cannot invite the ND of Julius Berger to come and have dinner or lunch, whatever you want to call it, and then go without discussing the pertinent issue, why you invited this man. And then the next day you are sending him a letter of revocation to say you're revoking. For what reason? That because where the land has not been developed in 20 years, when the land policy said it has to be 99 years. So again, there's so much in there, but I do believe, and I agree with the caller that Julius Berger should go to court, and irrespective of the fact that we know that the reason why these people are now FCT minister is building this land to the judges and other people that are within the judicial council circle, is because, again, to further put them in their pocket, to further grab and get hold of them. That way, whatever they tell them, they do. But irrespective of that, I think that the law and the appropriate legal procedure should be followed by Julius Berger to redress this issue, because this is absolute power corrupt. Absolutely.
Well, let's say they are insensitive, very insensitive, and I think Wike is delusional. He he's not sensitive to our pains. He doesn't feel the pulse of the nation or Makain. All he's doing now is about him, the FCT, the president, Matia Etipen, and the judges, because that's where they get their last power. So in Nigeria now, the court has become the hope of the rich.
Yeah, and if I may add the last thing before I go, this is now anti-investors, anti-business, and anti-progressive. Yes, anti-people. This rascality. This is rascality. This is power-drunk rascality behavior being exhibited by a man who supposedly supposed to be a legal mind, supposedly supposed to be a lawyer, and some of the languages and manner with which he speaks does not assume somebody that has gone through the legal system. So again, it's my bogging. Yeah,
it's my bogging. Yes. Well, Cesar. So moving on, Baba. I know you have some thoughts of that, but we have to just move on.
It's all right.
You agree with me? So I'm going to play this video, and then your POS kick in. You know, either one of you will pick it up. I don't care at this moment. But let me play this video, and then we start the POS matter. Why say, oh, my lovelies, why say? Oh, well, let me read this comment. Yes, from Anthony, Baba Anthony Ajibola. Yes, Wike just wanted to exaggerate publicly so that he looked like a strong man. That man has no sense of decorum. He's insensitive, he's shameless, he's soulless, he's delusional, he's greedy. In fact, any word you have for him, let me not, because but that man is soulless. Okay. Sonny said all our political leaders are too self-centered and very unpatriotic, uncivilized, and corrupt. Yes, sir. I agree with you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kevin Fedaro. Kudos, blessed mama, advocate for good governance. God bless you. So let's keep moving on. More likes. Keep pressing the likes button if you haven't. More likes. I showed you where the star button is. You can buy me a star for this channel so that we keep you glued to the truth and nothing but the truth. So let me play this video while you guys take on the POS, which is the matter for today.
Bring and come. They not chase us out with the bubble and SND. We can't step down. We not enter the community seats. Now APC don't win. Now we come back as a community chairman. Say now our government, as we resume, but this was picking one way that they call Gege, that one a PDP. That one I say like not go happen. Those people now come back. The same people now police they find. Or guys, if you go stay see, I did their name the police they find. At the end of the day, they hold meeting for Bobby's one. They say they won't bring another chairman. We don't even care. We tell them say not go happen. We don't even care. We sit down. We just sit down for them. We drink. We don't even know from nowhere Bobby's one children your pass come. You attack us for back here and you lead to the press. They even show that 2 or 3 people they just sit around. That's just the issue. The man even call us one day, we tell us, oh God, this one a party issue. The time when we deal, we chase us and out of the law. We don't come back, when I come up front for us. That's just the problem. Because the people are PDP. That's just the issue. Our parties are where? I'm trying to invite the representative of the group
Okay, I think most of us have seen this video, but this is where we can really discuss about. We want to deliberate on it. APC, PDP, PDP is still in power till November the 12th, which will be the legal day to hand over. But as we see now, what is evident before everyone is, APC is already claiming that they are in power. They may understand in November, then imagine October 27th, APC way in your power. Now POS start and give me what you know about that video.
Yeah, let me start on this one here.
Oh, now we are back cliche. We are back cliche.
When people are ignorant, you see, when recently they have been making going to school really difficult for people in Nigeria. So they have a reason. If you want to change a society, this is my own thinking. Anyone can fault me on it. If you really want to change a society, like what Obaseki has done, if you let that system stay for a long period of time, change the books.
It will come.
When you change the books and you start from primary one, by the time that primary one student gets to is 20 years, you have completely changed the entire society.
Exactly.
I will take you back to after 1945. The Germans really wanted to ensure that no one comes back and act like Adolf Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
All those books that had things to do with Nazism, they were all eradicated. Mm-hmm. The government even bought them and took them back in, so as not to replicate another Adolf Hitler down the road. So the problem that we are dealing with is a big one, but somebody will have to start from somewhere. Mm-hmm. So when you see these miscreants thinking about taking over, it shows that, first of all, there are a lot of people in our political space, in our space, that don't understand what governance is all about.
Yeah, at all.
Exactly. Elections were held in March in 2023. And Tinubu took over on the 29th of May. Like Shaibu was saying that he got a court judgment. This is exactly it trickles down. Shaibu got a court judgment somewhere in Abuja. A day or two later, he came to Benin City. He says he wants to go and resume as deputy governor.
Immediately.
Immediately. This is exactly what is going on. Because when leaders begin to send wrong messages to the people, it's a potential danger for the entire society. So now election, according to INEC has selected somebody for Edo State, Monday Pebble. So the people are now following the Shaibu way, that you win today, you start tomorrow. No. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will quickly drop another point here too, before I go deep into that. If peradventure, the tribunal sits and says, let us assume that when the tribunal sits, the first time they say, Aswan Godalo has won. Do you know he cannot come in the next day? No. Because everybody is aware that Okpebolo will go and file for an appeal. So until the end. So there is a procedure. All these things are laid down. They are laid out there in our constitution. So everything we do. My bordering area is that how is APC and PDP supposed to trickle down to the man that is walking in the street, in a chairman? So I'm beginning to envisage, if this is how they are going to behave, all the community chairmen in our Edo State, especially in Edo South, that I know, that are selling land, they are going to have another change with the political party. So this is a recipe for anarchy.
Okay.
This is a pure recipe for anarchy. And
again, another disaster.
Yes, I may not have the opportunity to say this. You see, when you see agents of deception like Jared Tenebe,
okay,
he calls himself an emperor. Go and look at his antecedents. How he sold crude oil. That's where he was making some of his money from. So he was basically dealing in bunkering, and he was using.
It's a non-stop, though.
Yeah,
it's a non-stop.
No, not just. He was using letters from Michael Giadome, the former deputy governor of Edo State, how he was using letters from him saying that the president has given him the right to go and sell stolen crude and all that. So the rest is history. But I want to quickly say this. Have we all heard about Emperor Bokassa, Jean Bedel Bokassa? That is the play, that is the script all these APC people are playing from our state to presidency. Jean Bedel Bokassa became the president of Central Africa Republic as a military person. He took over. If anyone, I mean, I will send you a video about Jean Bedel Bokassa. All these APC leaders, including our T-Pain, they are all following the scripts of Jean Bedel Bokassa. He was not called emperor, but eventually he became an emperor. That is where this Emperor Jared Tenebe, I'm very, very sure that's where he got his name from.
Yeah.
So every one of these APC people that we are seeing in our political space today, they are playing the script of Emperor Jean Bedel Bokassa. Wow. And when he was done, it was shame on Bedel Bokassa. He spent a quarter, the day he made himself an emperor, from president to emperor. He spent 1/4 of the entire country's money to make himself an emperor. But if there are people, they call him, Africans say, oh, he was such an evil man. Such an evil man. He did all atrocities, just name it. So that is the script. These people have fought themselves on us. We are saying no, and they keep doing it. So at the one thing, for those of them who are watching us, they should understand and go and look at the script that they are playing. How did Emperor Jean Bedel Bokassa, how did it end? It was the French people, the French president that was supporting him, that made it possible for him to be what he was. They were the same people that used another person to plan a coup against him in Central Africa Republic. So back to the issue of POS.
Okay.
Now, POS, point of sale. Point of sale.
Yes.
I can assure you that this POS was the reason when there was NSAS in 2020 in Nigeria. POS was the main problem that caused NSAS in 2020. Because there was
I thought it was the brutality of the police. And
when the police, the so-called, in quote, those they call Yahoo boys or whatever it is, when they are going to extort money from them, they bring out that small little machine.
Yes. As if they sell, they have commodities to sell.
It could be 1 million, whatever. In fact, up till today, very few of them they use that as that's the way
they cash anymore. Yes, they use POS.
Yes. And for all of us, the background is that today people don't go to the bank anymore. Our society is really is so bad. People don't go to the bank anymore. POS came as a way of trying to ease the way of doing businesses with the bank. Okay. But as usual, people in the bank hijacked it. When they hijacked it, the politicians also hijacked it. You go to the bank, they will tell you, oh, we can only give you about $50,000. 50,000 naira a day. Sometimes they tell you there's no cash. But they tell you go across the street. You go across the street, the man across the street, the bank is telling you, the financial institution is telling you, they don't have 50,000 naira for you. But the man across the street can give you up to 1 million.
500,000.
Then you pay extra charges. The reasons why Nigerians pay bribe is that we don't want to go through the process, and people make the process difficult. So we want to go through the other way so that it becomes a little bit easier. So that's how this POS came into, and the people in the bank, they started using it. And as they were using it now, then you see, I mean, it was hijacked. Just the same way our political system has been hijacked. They started, you go to them and they print some stuff for you. You take with their little receipt. And they started doing transfers. If anyone uses POS to transfer money into your own account, you can't see the name. It doesn't show sometimes it doesn't show the business. It's just some figures, a reference number, and all that. That's all that you see on the POS receipt.
Exactly.
The reason for me why Nigeria refused to address this issue, I don't understand. Because those people that were being extorted through POS, they started complaining. They were complaining. Once upon a time, I worked in the bank. Money don't fly anywhere in the bank. You have to have money has to leave an address. It goes to another address.
Mm-hmm.
It's, for example, now I say I want to go to Toronto. I want to go anywhere. I want to go to Nigeria and go and see John. That John, there's so many John in Benin City or in Nigeria. So John will have to tell me, oh, I live in Kano. This is the street and all that. So that's why you have routing number and all that in Europe. So these people, the police were using it to extort people.
Clarence, I did already. Sorry, sir. 1 sec. I did already. Oh man, no, there was one Evans making one kind of noise there. Go on,
so,
sir.
So when this is money, any money that goes into any financial institution can be traced. So when these young men were crying over POS that they were being extorted, the point is that what was our investigating unit doing? Our political class, do they have the political strength to be able to tackle corruption on its head? So POS is more or less like a way to extort money from people. If you ever go to any community today, any community in Edo South, and you want to buy a piece of land, you want to do anything, they will tell you to go and pay them through POS, because they are using that as a smoke screen in order for
it's traceable, right?
If you tell the chairman of any community today to pay, chairman of any community, say, give me your bank account, let me pay this money into your account, and you write a receipt for me, they'll say, no, go to that POS and pay it in your POS, and whatever it is. So there are so many shady deals from NSAS. When the police people were using POS to extort people, now we are now seeing it in our community, and a lot of time you cannot trace this money. You don't know where it goes into. So if you ask me, I know my brother has a lot to say about it, but I'm just taking the head because we are always pressed with time. I'm just saying, because I spoke about how it was used in NSAS. I also spoke about how at the origin, which is through the bank, they wanted to make banking easier for our people. That's how it started. It was hijacked. Police used it for NSAS. We are now seeing community chairmen using it. We see a whole lot of people in the streets, they are using it. And the bad news about POS is that our young girls, probably in their 17, 18, and all that, they don't even want to, a lot of them don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to school. Yes. And I had a friend some time ago in Benin City. This is kind of, it's a bad story. So he went to POS. He wanted to withdraw some money. The lady said, I don't have enough money. He left there. Few seconds later, the POS girl was shot there.
Oh!
Yeah, was shot. The POS was shot there. So the case ended up at the police, and they said you were the last one that went there. And people were saying most likely that my friend was the one that probably brought it. So these younger, women, according to Napoleon Bonaparte, father of French Revolution, he says, "Give me a good woman, and I will give you a great nation." I repeat, say, "Give me a good woman, and I will give you a great nation." That's Napoleon Bonaparte way back then. Let these our young girls go to school. POS is not a business. It should not be encouraged. And if I were to be in a position, I would say no more POS. Let the financial institutions, let them do their job. We've had money that was changed in Nigeria. They said there's a new one. You go out there, you don't see them. Let our politicians, let them fix our country. Let me give the floor to my brother.
let's say, before you start, Mr. Agedion, somebody, Baba Osa Modion, or when the bank managers own the POS, do you agree with him? It's another review channel for them.
In addition to everything that you have said, my brother, it is right on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The only addition hereby, plus what the contributor said, is that it is not far from the truth. From the police are still using it. From the police, it has now moved up to the cabal. And who are the cabal? The cabals are the politicians and the bank institutions executives. Now, as many of you know, I just came back and I have a life experience, which I'm going to share.
Okay.
Part of the reason why the Nigerians, as it stands today, as we are currently predisposed, the predisposition of Nigeria as it stands today is not sustainable moving forward. I don't know how this is going to go, but we are like a gunpowder and a egg that is ready to fall and is going to shatter. It is not about if, it's just when. Now, in the case of the POS, I went on few occasions, went to inside the bank to collect money. When you tie a bank, as Rice said, they will say, well, we don't have the money that you want.
Yeah.
We can only give you 50. I'm asking for 500,000. You're giving me 50,000. What's 50,000 comparable to 500,000? Go do. And then you come out, you go to the machine. The machine is working. You come out, you're disappointed. You come out, you go to the machine, you put a card in the machine. It's reading error. The machine is not working. Now, the two law instituted resource or source for you to get money is you either go inside the bank or you go through the machine, which is what you still have here in the industrial world.
Yes.
And when those two fail, by the time you turn around, you see a POS man standing there with you. Well, Oga, you want money? This is a POS man standing there with you right where you have the bank machine. The bank machine is not working. The bank says, we don't have money. But a POS man, a common man on the street, has money to give to you.
So and that's why I believe it's the bank manager owns those POS.
And guess what? By the time the POS man, by the time you ask the POS man, okay, give me this money, POS will charge you for charges. And then the bank will charge you again for another charge. So that's a double-edged sword.
Oh.
So now I begin to ask myself, where else in the world apart from Nigeria that this kind of system is operated? No.
Now we didn't ourselves.
Only in Nigeria, with a POS man on the street has more money than a bank, an institution can give to you, and then it will charge you. Now the question is, where does the POS man get this cash from? It's just like a mala with a dollar. The bank would tell you, I don't have dollar, but the mala has dollars in his peculiar small shelf in Sakuba Road or Olia, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
Sakuba Road. So where does a mala man get that dollar that the bank doesn't have? So for me, it comes from the top, the bank executive, and all of those things. And this is why you see all of these bank executive people catching those small money, and they cannot be able to account for how they become so strictly rich, with so much money. And now this is at the backbone of our sweat, the common man on the street. So how would we revive this situation? How can all of this situation change? So we need a reformation of our banking system, and without that, this is going to continue. So it's a shame. Nigeria is one nation, one set of people that I have seen where you will slap them on one cheek, it will say, okay, slap the other side. And Nigeria is the only country in the world that you see that mentality. Nowhere else that happens. So you would think by now people will begin to speak up and say, this is not good. Let the government do something about it. But then, obviously, it will follow the deaf ear because the government and the people on top who are supposed to be the leadership and to make things happen are the one benefiting from this fraudulent act. So why would we now expect them to make that change? They will not. So I'm not sure how this is going to stop.
Oh my goodness. My people, are you listening? Thank you, sir. So it's exactly what you said just now. When they bring maybe a law or something to make our lives easier by not carrying this heavy cash, this is one of the examples. You don't, like cashless society. The bank managers and all of that, all those people on top there find a way to make it, to bring the negativities inside. Right now, POS was supposed to alleviate our pains, Abi. It's not adding because of the greed of the bank managers and those involved. It's a pity. Every company man land a country money, me man land safely. CPOS not supposed to make our lives easier. It's not making it even more difficult. POS has the money that bank doesn't have, obviously. We don't know where all these monies are coming from.
Yeah, Mr. Agbedi, let me add, it's an addendum to what you just said. It's not two charges. If you use POS, there's what you call withdraw and transfer. It's a language. When you get to Nigeria, they will tell you one vehicle is Orobo. They say the other one is Okpolo I. They have their language, so those things. So this language, they call it withdraw and transfer. So, okay, you go to a community today and they ask you, sometimes they even relocate you and say, okay, you have to pay 1 million. All right. They tell you go to the POS, they will tell you the particular one to go to. So when you get to that point, maybe they say you are doing some fence or so, they want 1 million. So they say go to that POS. So the POS will tell you that I'm going to withdraw money from your account. There's charges for that. After withdrawing it with one sheet, some piece of paper in your hand, you say now we want to transfer it from our own account into the account of, that's 2 charges. Plus the one at the bank. So at every time you are doing this, the bank is charging you per or any of these transactions. And when it was not this bad, bank managers deliberately instruct people who work for them not to load the ATM machine with more than a certain amount of money. So somebody goes in there, you take 10,000, before in 2-3 hours the money is all gone. So again, these people don't act unilaterally. That's why sometimes when we are dealing with the issues of our state, we also have to deal with it from the other side, because in our laws we have exclusive list, which is strictly that of the presidency, because Edo State is a federating state. So there are some certain things that our governors, they don't have power to do. There are some, like for example, when you talk about, I agree with you that there should be a financial reform. So this financial reform, this cannot be done at the state level. So if there's going to be any kind of financial reform, it has to come from the federal level, because things that has to do with money, devaluation of the currency, changing the currency, and many other things, these are strictly in the exclusive legislative list. The president have power to all these things. So, and again, in a society where corruption is endemic and systemic, it is difficult, because these bank managers, like you mentioned, like someone mentioned also, they have people they give their money to. I mean, you take this and I take this. That's the reason why our society is so rotten. When I listened to one program about Obaseki, I wrote there, I said he championed the renaissance of the new Edo State. Yes. We need a renaissance in Nigeria. We need someone that has the political will to make a lot of changes. If you and I, we can identify it. If we know according to Uzo Kalu, he says that he's paying salaries. How many workers does he have? He pays salary with how many millions?
It says 8.5. It says 8.5
million. So now the other man that is in the street that works for the state government, you are paying them 70,000. Even when Obaseki started it, there was no devaluation. Tinubu has not devaluated our currency at that time. So Obaseki was really magnanimous with the Edo people when he started paying that 70,000 salary structure.
He started 40,000 then.
Okay, 40,000.
So the amount that we live on is not sustainable.
Exactly. No, it's not sustainable. And our politicians are very quick to tell us, oh, in America, this is how this is done. In London, this is how this is done.
But what is the exchange rate?
Again,
it's the standard of living.
If this is how it is done.
In America, you get your light 24/7.
What is the minimum wage in this environment? What is the minimum wage in this environment? A point of digression. I lived in Japan at a certain time. I called a friend. A friend called me from Japan too, about a week ago. Today Sunday. He called me about a week ago, and I asked him, what's the exchange rate? He said 150. When I was in Japan about 30 something years ago, the exchange rate was 145. So within 30 years, it has moved just 5 points.
5 points.
Within 30 years.
On your stable economy.
So here we have today, I pray that individual that we champion the Renaissance, we might want to call it a revolution. That's a new beginning of Nigeria. So that all these Egyptians that we are seeing today, so that we will not see them anymore.
Amen.
Wesley, my brother, I think that made a reference to what I said earlier. I stand to say that I am unrepentant, I am unapologetic because of the disposition that Nigeria finds itself today. Now, to be able to have that renaissance happen, we need someone that is upright. And if at some point Nigeria is lucky enough, and that the masses is lucky to be able to have that person that is upright. And let's not forget the damage and the drainage and the leakage, all the cockroach that has eaten so deep in and so rotten into our fiber Nigeria system is so deep in that it would take at least 3 good 8 years of good governance consistently to be able to bring Nigeria back again to where we will say, okay, we are good now. Only one administrative or one term of 8 and then another bad one coming will not do it. So we just need to hope that if we got it right, then it has to be consistent for at least 3 consecutive terms before we can say, yes, we are back on. But with the way it is, with the way Emilokon and Bulaba is going right now, where he's trying to make Nigeria a one-state system, one-state system, or make himself an emperor of Field Marshal, my brother, I think that is a far-reaching, how do I put it, hope for now. So, but again, hope is faith is believing in something that you cannot see. But I think in the case of Nigeria, this is now beyond faith believing in something that you cannot see. So I'll leave it like that.
I will say, my viewers, I hope you guys are glued. This is not a debatable comment. I'm just going to leave it here for everyone. If you agree with me or not, say yay or nay. I was talking to somebody this week, and so I was challenging him why they go. You people are docile over all this. They why madam? Not the person where get food for belly I go talk. Now everything we go the riot put. Since they don't know what to do, what do you want me we do with the citizens? Do you agree with me? Or protest that they are all suffering and doesn't even have the strength or the zeal or will to come out and say, we say the man is looking for Indomie to eat. Because I was just talking about docility. I'm not happy. that we are the only ones talking. They are not talking anymore. They are crushing, maybe they are gagging us, and we don't really hear them speaking this. But they said they're tired.
Yeah, this is my response to that. You see, in the Bible, there were those 3 lepers, because in the days when the Bible was written, lepers were not allowed into the community. Those 3 lepers that were standing at that gate, someone can tell me precisely the name of that city. I just don't want to just mention like that. So those 3 lepers, those 3 lepers. Okay. Right, yeah. So these 3 lepers, when they saw that people were not coming to give them food anymore, so they started discussing among themselves. One of them said they should leave the position where they are. Then the other one says he wants to go into the city. But the third one said, look, we are lepers. We are not allowed into the city. So if we go into the city, they will kill us. So if they don't, he said, but if we remain here, we die. If we go into the city, they will still kill us. So it is better to go into the city than to sit here and die of hunger. So eventually they proceeded into the city. When they got into the city, they saw that there was war that has exhausted everything, and there was a lot of food and so many things that were left behind for them to cut away, and they carted it out away. When there was answers, it was an opportunity for Nigerians to tell our ruling class that enough is enough. We missed that opportunity.
Okay.
The police that are brutalizing us today.
Did we miss it or they killed us? They pushed us away.
No, if you look at the revolution, Tiananmen Square in China, when you look at that revolution, armored car was rolling on top of people. The Chinese people say no. They sat in the street in China until they achieved what they want. So this, our ruling class, this group of people that we have now, they know that if you shoot 1 or 2 guns, then the next thing everybody will disperse. So that's exactly what they do. That's what. So that answers.
We will not get away from this.
So that answers was an opportunity. We lost it.
For us to continue.
Yeah, I know. I was young and all. When it was Babangida must go riot and all that.
1993.
Yeah. So no, 93.
Okay, no, 93 Mama riot.
No.
Yes,
because in 1993,
Babangida was 93.
No, it wasn't 93.
No, the riot, Babangida must go.
Yeah, was it? I think it was.
I think it was June 12. Okay.
No, because I remember when Johnny Nyenga came to they came with some helicopters and they were shooting something down in the board, the Uniben and all that. So it was no 93. It was, I think, should be about 83 thereabout. So I participated in all those things. So even then, we don't have internet. So I think it is imperative.
That was way better than this.
Yeah, it is imperative on our people to occupy the streets of Nigeria and say, irrespective of what it is, this is our demand. Because, like my brother mentioned, it's not sustainable. There's absolutely no way. It's not sustainable. When there are so many Nigerians who are doing well outside of Nigeria. They can come back and invest one small business. They employ one person. Just imagine if we are 1 million people in Edo State only that are abroad, and we are able to employ another one person. So we will have another 1 million people in Edo that are employed. So if we are able to come up with something better, and some of us are able to employ maybe about 2 people or more, then the unemployment rate will reduce. So it is time for us to begin to talk about, for example, do you know what the meaning of employment is as defined by APC? That is making employment rate go low in Nigeria. They said if you are employed for about 2 hours in a week, then it means you are employed. So you cannot classify yourself as someone that is not employed.
How does that sustain you to eat for the whole month, to pay your rent?
Someone that gets employed for 2 hours or so. So let's assume today maybe all these artisans, you pay them some certain amount of money in a day or so. You say that's not employment. So I think that my sister, who is suggesting that yes, we tried, we keep trying. Yeah, Rome was not built in a day. We will always provide some logistical support when we hear that people really want to advocate for a change. not violent changes. We want to advocate for a change. We are here. We are not going. Look at the policemen that they are using to oppress our Nigerian people. They look tattered. They don't look good. No.
If you go to barracks in Lagos, your dog, your goat will not stay there.
You are talking about Lagos. What about the interior? That's Lagos, the former capital city of Nigeria. When you go to the interiors, you go to where this policemen live. So I think it is time for us.
Will not stay.
Yes, it is time for us to say no. Enough is enough. Hypothetical. Look at it, for example. If someone that had about I was born in Nigeria, so if I had said, okay, fine, about 4 years ago, if I say, okay, let me take about $10,000 home and keep it. Maybe one day if I retire, I'll be able to make use of it. I change it into the Naira. At that, about 3 years ago, that $10,000 would probably be about 3-4 million Naira at that time. So now if I'm retired and I go home and I say, oh, but if I kept that money in dollars, then that would have probably given me more than about 12 million. So the purchasing power of the Naira is, there's a lot that need to be changed. That is the reason why anytime we see, not about political party, if we see someone that is visionary, that is capable of changing our society, the way we look at things, then we should give that person support.
Thank you, sir. That gate you were talking about, I checked it out, is the gate of Samaria. Gate of Samaria.
That's true.
Yes, I checked it on Google. I checked it out. Google is my friend. And so we want to play this video and then we talk about Obaseki. I saw this video. I was, it really makes me happy, I don't know. Let me see your thoughts.
Is to focus on the civil and public service, which is the engine of government, and say, look, what are the challenges? What are the issues you have? First, it's motivation, just respecting them, making them feel relevant, making them feel important. It's not only about money. It's also about a sense of belonging. Second is infrastructure. You don't expect them to use their bare hands. The environment in which they work, aligns with how you even think about them. So if you go to Edo today, one of the things we've done is to ensure that we've improved the work environment, the infrastructure of our workforce. Thirdly, the tools for them to work. Today in the digital world, you can't be using papers. You can't be, your files can be missing. With technology, there's just so much efficiency and transparency which you can bring into play.
The governor, whose administration winds down soon, says his introduction of e-governance has not only enhanced efficiency, but also accountability in the public service.
With digitization, when you write a letter or send a request to government, it's recorded, it's stored. Even if you don't send it electronically, it's converted to an electronic format. It's stamped, it's received. I know the date that request came in. And we can follow through. We have what we call a 48-hour response time. Within 48 hours, whoever that request has gotten to must turn around and do something about the request. Even if you don't have the answer, but you escalate it, you don't keep it. You don't just sit on it. And so unlike in the past where files get missing, you don't know what has happened to any requests, any payments. Today, in the comfort of my office or the office of any permanent secretary or any director, you can tell what has happened to every request of policy or issue in government. And therefore, the turnaround time to respond to issues in government, to respond to citizens' citizens' requests is quite shortened, and that has improved services for for our citizens. So whether it's in the area of health, whether it's in the area of land management, whatever it is, we have records of everything you've done, and we know who has responsibility or who has taken what action or not taken what action.
On infrastructure, security, and
so in that video, I don't know if you guys have seen it too. Obaseki was just, reiterating the importance of e-governance, how quick and how efficient it is. Because I'm going to here from one station to the other, point A to point B. We don't see those excuses anymore. We don't hear those excuses. So the one Obaseki, that e-governance Obaseki move has really been very, very efficient to date. My only fear is it's going to be discontinued because they are analog. So we not, I don't know what I know what we are expecting, but I don't know how we're going to go back again because this guy said they are not interested. All they just want is the code for the treasury. That's all. You could see what's going on all the while. So I want to give kudos to, we just have one more video to play, and then you talk about that video and the next one I'm going to play. Baba Anthony, thank you. Oh, there was a statement I was showing just now. Egbe Iyamu, thank you for coming. Umaye, subscribe, because this name is very sweet and new. Well, there are many reasons. One, many of our people not interested in what goes on in the country, no electricity to even watch TV to know what is happening. Egbe Iyamu, I don't know where you are, but I really do key into this statement. It is true. But wherever you are, if you are interested in your country, what is going on with you, I know that many people have lost hope. That's just the thing, sir. Hope is very thin line for that country where no needs. Like you said about the lepers, if we go inside, we will die. There's famine inside, there's famine outside. So what do? The lepers are the gates of Samaria. So Nigeria working right now. So I really pity our people. It's a pain. Miami Rediana, let's not stop talking. If you're in Europe, please keep talking. If you're in Nigeria, keep talking. Mr. Anthony, when Goodluck Jonathan increased fear to 97 naira, Nigerians were shooting with bazooka and F-16. Fear is now 1,000, over 1,300. Nigerians couldn't even shoot knockouts. Any matter banner here. Or when the docility is a result of, these people are weakened. We've given up state capture, everything capture. We don't even know where to start again. We've lost it. My comrade also said it where at 2020, in 2020 when they shot us at Lekki, NSAS was supposed to be the breaking point, but we couldn't get it because Afiosisi Mayale, who wants to die? I don't want to die, you don't want to die, but revolution is bloody. So my people, let me play this last video and then we wrap it up with this guy.
Your Excellency, in a few weeks from today, you will bow out as the best governor Edo State has ever had, as your tenure elapses. Your administration has been nothing short of progressive and transformative. You have lived up to and even surpassed your mega agenda, and you've managed to fulfill all your campaign promises, both in 2016 and in 2020. Undoubtedly, you have been the best governor we've ever had as a state or a region by a mile, from Edo Best to Edo HIS, the modular refineries, civil and public service reform, toll-free, 24/7 emergency number and agency, digitalization of Edo State, finding alternatives to crude oil in oil palm and cassava investment, and then attracting billions of dollars worth of investment and growing our state GDP in Nigeria. Your Excellency, whether or not you've been the best governor of Edo State isn't even debatable.
Wow.
No, it isn't. Sir, we all will miss you, from your civil servants to your pensioners, your children at the Edu Best program, your farm workers, the entire length and breadth of Edo State. For me personally, it has been the greatest privilege of my life working under you and being mentored directly or indirectly by you. I remember when I first...
This is beautiful. I have to cut it short again. You know, time is always against us. Next thing, let me give you kudos. You know that's your name, Eweka. And now I will say it, Eweka. I always love when you make comments. It shows me how liberated you've become. I give you kudos. Elani Ataise, I give you kudos. Liberation is very costly. And you are one of those guys that have liberated his soul. You have a free soul. You have a free spirit to think. A guy about our governor, you know, all the accolades and all of that. Just, you know, pouring it on encomiums, just pouring it on him and all. He wasn't paid. Do you think he was paid to say it, or it's what is really going on? You would imagine somebody like Obaseki, you know, who say he's been tagged as an enemy of the land. My Edo people, your thoughts?
If I may, I'll quickly add to that. I think the accolades are in place perfectly. But I don't know that whether or not the subject of debate should be the best ever governor in Edo State. When you talk also the like of Ogbemudia, whose roadmap that Edo State sits on today in terms of road landmark. So I don't know that I'm qualified enough to make that comparison or to make that debate. But I will put a question mark to that. But Obaseki stands on his own as a man who has reformed, no doubt, Edo State from what it was to now. He's a reformer from Edo Best to modular refinery to the digitalization, so the civil service sector, the media, the oil, the cassava, and then raising the GDP, doubling the GDP, or almost double the GDP from when he started to now. That is a feat that only a focused, oriented person can achieve. And no question, he was focused. And I think his only sin or his only shortfall was that he did not give eye service, or nor did he attend to people who he sees as a leakage and people that will just come in to water and take away whatever they can take away. And because he showed those people the real mirror and say, go behind me, Satan, like Jesus said. And so that was his Satan. That was the only shortfall. And then they now call him all sort of name. I must also say, with all the accolades that have been given to him, and I think that if you ask me from a social scientist perspective, would say that there was also what I would call perhaps a little bit of interpersonal skills. I think again that is something, if I was very close to the governor back in the days and maybe one of his advisors, that's something that I would have asked him to work on a little bit, to touch on, which is the personal social skills interaction. But other than that, yes, yes. But other than that, he was a true reformer, and he came in, he did what he said he was going to do. From someone who came from a banking sector, and he knows how money works. He knows where when you put 1 + 1 together, it becomes 2. But where 1 + 0, you cannot still get 1. You cannot get anything. And I think he was also the first person to raise alarm with the state of the Nigerian monetary system in terms of going to Abuja and printing money and getting money.
Yes.
But when he said it, many of us who are not savage when it comes to monetary aspect, we're saying, the man Atane Ozua, what is he talking about?
Yes.
But in retrospect, looking back now, we all now see where he was coming from because of his vast knowledge in money management and banking. And that was how he was able to come out there to prophesy. It was a prophetic comment that he made at that time. So I'll give him a kudo. No question, no doubt at all, it will be missed. But
I'm missing him already.
This is where the citizens now come to play. Because whoever now wear the shoes now, we know that the shoe is going to be 2 feet for the person that has been handpicked to now be the governor. And so the expectation for me, this is where the citizen will now put his foot to the fire to say, you must live up to this expectation. People like Veneto Best Naye, like the pensioners, like the civil servant to get their pay on time. But I must also say, as someone who is an advent supporter of Aswarime Igodaro, who believe that the mandate should be returned, I would say with the caveat that I'm hoping that with the next 6 months or 7 months that this man here stay right now, that the Pueblo is going to stay there again without any apology, because I believe that without any doubt of a shadow that Aswe won and that the election was rigged and given handpicked like a candy, give it to Pueblo and his people. So I'm hoping that for the next 6 months, while the legal system takes its turn to return the mandate back to the rightful owner, that the citizens of Edo State will put this man foot on the fire to say, you must do this for the time being that you are here, however short it is.
Anthony, I'm coming to you. Papa Anthony, I like to call you Papa Anthony. Ajibola. Doubling the GDP would have been by 100%. Hechi Governor Norase grew the state GDP over 150%. They don't understand what GDP means, and they would not have any. They don't have the know-how to do it. Raise the GDP now. Mama wa miele lions and tiger e hockey ya e ya so akoletigo ne ikenana koletigo ya iya dejo. Mr. Ogbe, you have my last
thank you everyone here. You see the e-governance, great. I listened to that video before, and I knew I made a comment when I listened to it on the rise and all that. I thank God that we have someone that is visionary, and the e-governance, I believe that it has come to stay. I will quickly address that individual that says that the people have been weakened. You see, first of all, if you are doing any project in Nigeria and you take your artisan, your carpenter, your bricklayer, you want to take them and buy some stuff, don't let them go with you. Because if you let them go with you, they will just wink their eye for the person who is selling the merchandise. They already built a 10% into it. They don't see any. So once they wink their eye, the 10% has been built into it. He's going to come from behind and share it. So you don't go with him. That is the eye that we are going to use in looking at our politicians. Where it is necessary, they will raise ethnic issues. Where it is necessary, they will raise religious issues. So, and this is because we are not weakened. It's just that there are people from a certain a group of people in Nigeria who just chose that they don't want to fight the way we are fighting now and say, no, this is not how it is. I thank God that the other man, whether he was making eulogies.
I want you to read this, add it to your thoughts loud. I like when people disagree with us because it opens room for a debate.
Yes, I saw that.
I do agree with him, but he doesn't agree with us. So we want to hear.
Yeah, you see, I think that Governor Enowegase Obaseki, he was thinking like someone who is in one of these developed countries. Because it's only in Nigeria that a governor, you construct a road, you call band and say yendeba, you pay all these people to come in, whereas that money will be enough for you to do another road. So I do believe that maybe there could have been other ways, other avenues for him to advertise this project without going on the television. And I know Crusoe Ogie, Crusoe Crusoe Sagie, but maybe they would have been a little bit more vibrant, because when you look at governance, it takes a whole lot. There are some people who don't work for government, but they work from behind, that will be singing his praises and say this has been done, and the other one has been done, and the other one has been done. Or probably Obaseki would have been having something like the State of the Union address, that is the State of Union of Edo State address, where he tells us that I came into power this day, this is 100 days, this is 1 year, this is what has been done, this is what has been done. Anyone can verify. But that was not done. Again, it depends on who is listening and what argument that has been presented. So I think he was looking at it from that angle, that the money I would call a band and call everybody to come and start saying Yedeba and all that money could be used to do some other projects.
But he's talking about personal relationship, personal social relationship, which Mr. Agbedio, pitched on. Or where Mr. Agbedio, we know, not more of it.
Okay.
But Anthony, when you disagree, that
it depends on how you look, where you look at it. If I'm going to give some
the context, right?
Some instances. My uncle and my uncle and I, we went to see Crusoe Osagie. Yeah, we went to see him for something. So, and I know I've stood with him one-on-one. So he came out, and I know one other commissioner that was later giving something else. So if I combine what I heard from behind, that personal social relationship would have been very difficult, because the second coming of Governor Obaseki was really difficult. So many people, there were people who came to Obaseki's office, as I was told by these people who are close to him, that they came and said they want money. So what are you doing here? So when our people sing your praises, beware. So there's a lot of people, all these Ogiomba and all they came from somewhere. So there were some people who came to him for personal. When our politician says interest, what interest? In a democracy, you are supposed to be thinking of the interest of the people, not personal interest. Not when you are giving money for your constituency, you convert it into your rice bag and on your birthday, or you are selling them. So those are not the interests. So most of our politicians, I want us to look at it from this way. These persons in government, or these persons that were around him, how many of them actually had the interest of the people at heart? That they would be able to work together and say, fine. Because when these are two people of divergent views, Obaseki is thinking of the people, how do I achieve? And some people were there to, as usual.
Politicians.
Yeah, they want to come and get fuel for free. They want to get X amount of money, and on and on and on and on. So that's why you see there were a lot of people that distanced themselves away from Obaseki, not because they came to help articulate a new Edo. No, they distanced themselves away because the money was no longer forthcoming.
As they thought.
So there's no way Obaseki would have forced himself on these individuals. It would be extremely impossible that these individuals who come and they want money. Okay, you come to the State House to do what? You have to be there for a reason. So it would, I think the way it is now, it would depends on how we look at it from. But a lot of these people, personal relationship with a whole lot of these people. But don't get me wrong, he had a good personal relationship with a whole lot of people with him who they understand that work is work. Professional business relationship that will help enhance the where Edo State is going towards. So, but I thank God again, like this individual that is speaking, whether it's a valedictory or is being paying encomiums and all that. Thank God that this individual is not like a Senator Bukachiwa who was making a valedictory statement and say, I used my wife, I influenced my wife.
He knows that you get away with those things in Nigeria.
So thank God that we are saying whether this person is saying Obaseki is the best governor, he's not. We thank God that he didn't come to say, oh, Obaseki used me to do this bad thing and the other.
No.
You see, in the book in Julius Caesar, I know a lot of people don't really understand this verse, this space that I'm going to read. He says, the evil that men do live after them.
Yeah.
Lives after them. And the goods are oft, OFT, interred with their bones. A lot of people mistake that to be karma. No. He said, the evil that men do lives after them. That is to say, when someone dies, someone is leaving an office now, people will be talking of their evil everywhere. He said, but the good things, they will be buried with them. Then Shakespeare finally ended that verse by saying, so let it be with Caesar. So if you look at that in this context, for a lot of people to be talking good of Governor Enowe Obaseki over and above some few Lilliputians who are thinking that he didn't do anything and call him Obiomba. And what's the definition of Obiomba? So
enemy of the somebody who's doing right by people. The man is enemy of the state, enemy of the people.
No, it's not enemy. You see, when you see, look, this APC went to INEC office and said they were guarding it. Actually, they wanted to burn it down, but they wanted to burn it down. So yes, they wanted to burn it down, but they were already aware that there were so many people. The results that were in IREV, a lot of people have captured them, and INEC can most likely, if they are subpoenaed, they could replicate it. That's the reason. They say, well, we are guiding it. No, they were not guiding it. They were making an attempt to burn it down. So those people that are saying, oh, Wiomba is the opposite. But they came up with that cliche so that they will use it as a slogan and begin to say, no, this man did excellently well. Across board. So that's yeah.
There's going to be a lot of confusion in the GDP now because the money can't setting or maybe no they are still arguing now. As well, where if he comes in, he would increase the salary to 100K. But Amagiela Onya. So, oh, sorry, sir. Did you have anything to say?
No, it's okay. Let my brother take on from here.
Ima, so what's our hope message? Because we always give our visitors, our guest message. What message of hope can you pass to us? Before you conclude, do you now subscribe to where Obaseki didn't need help in the social area? Do you subscribe or you still?
Well, the last I checked, we're in a democratic society, and it is my personal view and observation of what I see, and as someone that did social scientists and someone that worked in the social sector field,
So that is, again, that is my psychological, my philosophical evaluation, my brain. Yeah. But anyways, that is not for debate. But that's my own personal view. That's for debate. But everybody can disagree with me. That is fine. Now, on a good note and on a brighter note, I think that the citizens should be more motivated now than ever before to be very watchful and to be vigilant and to be cognizant. How we now realize the antecedent and what we now have in stock in terms of the governorship and how Obaseki is going to live. So moving that as a torchlight going forward, that will be a yardstick for which the citizen will now look at this temporary. I call it temporary, and again, I'm not saying that with I'm underlining that with good reason because of the way the election was done. So I know that people are going to hit on me on that to say, why can't you just accept this man? You do not accept when a thief comes to steal from you. You do not accept that thief to steal from you. I mean, who accept a thief? When a robber rob you, always say, not rob me, always say no. So I refuse to accept that. But that being said, I think that Edo State should be hopeful. The citizens should be hopeful. While I am cautious, which was what I will encourage people. While I'm cautious, but we should also be cautiously hopeful that there are brighter days ahead. So, if anything falls short of where we are now, there's a bar now, there's a standard, there's a goalpost for which each government, successor government, will be measured based on what Obaseki has done, whether it is Okpebholo for the next 6 months or whether it's Aswell coming in, however the case may be decided by the court. So we now have a goalpost. So I'm hoping that the trajectory will move forward, but I'm also very mindful too that there might be a period where there will be a standstill, where everything will look mockery and it will be slippery. But that's when the people will now come out and remind whoever the governor is to say, listen, this is not what we agreed. This is not what you said you were coming to do. So for me, I look at that as a sign of hope for the state. It is not all looming and grooming. I don't want to leave people with that impression. There is hope. But where blood and water must be sacrificed at the altar of prosperity to get a dividend. Without that, there will never be a prosperity and there will never be a future. So that is deep. But the analysis to that is that a sacrifice has to be made. Whether by any means, by all crook means necessary, whether it is still to go to the street and demand for justice, and demand for the right thing to be done, and demand for pensioners to be paid, and demand for the e-governance to continue, and demand for Edo Best to continue, and for all the good things that have been put in place to continue, whether to go to the streets and demand for it, or for people to continue to speak truth to power without being shy, without being afraid. And so I think for me, there is hope for the future, and the future looks good, but we all have to work for it, which is why I said where blood and water will be sacrificed at the altar of prosperity for the root of prosperity to grow.
Now let's say Kakabo, Anthony, where relationship with transactional politicians and agberos has nothing to do with personal social relationship. Of which we, it's very debatable. I've been one of those persons who used to think, the social aspect was not enough. But what kind of relationship are you going to have with people who don't want to listen, who already have the cliche in their head and they don't want to even know what is going on? Imagine somebody like Tenebe telling people where they will continue from where Oshomole stopped. Meaning these 8 years of Obaseki didn't exist. So the Nukiata me bomb a video. Well, how are you going to pass your message? If he fails to understand or believe it, when somebody is here and doing something, or when we start from where Oshomole stopped. So all these 8 years in the loop, what you guys Obaseki didn't exist. So how do you relate with those kind of people? It's not possible. So why you say Kakabo? Any thought from you, Ogbe? Last. I keep saying
yes.
last, but it's so sweet. My people want to listen more.
wanna-
Here. Next thing, okay, when Mr. Obaseki was too sophisticated for many people in our state, which is why he's often misunderstood. Because in the understand so it's a problem. Mr. Ube.
Yeah, Mr. Eweka, I agree with him completely, 100%, because there was a time when Obaseki was, the time my brother mentioned that it was, they were printing money. I made mention of that in this program some time ago, that not only in Nigeria, anywhere you hear the government saying ways and means. Ways and means, the meaning is that you are going to the central government so that the central government can help you inject more money into circulation. Now, a lot of Nigerians didn't know that. So when Buhari was always going to Emefiele, going to Ahmed Lawan, and they go to Emefiele, and over ways and means, it was obvious they were printing money. Governor Obaseki, very sophisticated, and there's hope.
It was a problem.
Yeah, there's hope for our country. Like my brother mentioned, the administration might be temporary. I know that they are going to they will not do e-governance, because in accounting, when you do accounting, there's what you call account reconciliation. So when you are going through reconciliation, because it is, you don't have to be there. I don't need to, if things are properly documented, I don't need to come to you and ask for this expenditure and all that. Through account reconciliation, you'll be able to point them out because it's in electronic form. So it's only in auditing. Sometimes you might want to call somebody to say, okay, there's something here that I really don't understand. But when you are doing reconciliation, you don't need the other. So you just use all your tools to do your reconciliation.
Only brings me to that question, the Philippi Wamukia. We are going to call it EFCC, ICPP, ABCZ. And do you think Obaseki is scared of all these propaganda?
They say talk is cheap. Yeah, talk is cheap. So with the way it is now, they are the one that they won't want to go digital, because it will be easy for their activities to be reconciled, and they won't want to go digital. Just the same way one person's certificate was requested, then the next day the Ministry of Education was on fire, so they won't go e-governance. But I want to tell our viewers that yes, despite all that we have mentioned, it's like we're in the murky waters. But however, this is what I have to say. You can find out from the internet. The Office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Office of the Chief of Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Office of the Chief of Naval Staff. It is reported that any vessel that comes into Nigeria and that is leaving Nigeria, you can see their life. You can see these vessels going in and out. Because you can see these vessels going in and out, they can say, oh no, they don't want this vessel. I mean, what is this vessel doing here? That tells you that the reason why we are not able to meet OPEC quotas is because of corruption. So when we are able to put the right people into power, yes, there's hope. But we need to be able to navigate these murky waters. Once we're able to navigate it, we have the right person out there. The same way we are praying that Aswai Godalo, because when you look at the Edo election has become, there are two reference points in elections in Nigeria. When you talk about the best election in Nigeria, you talk about Abiola Tofa election. If you talk about the worst election in Nigeria, we're not even talking about the Maurice Iwu-led INEC. We will talk about Edo election. Because the entire Nigerian people saw that at 96%. And the results are still there in INEC viewing portal. We saw a lot of overvoting and many more. So when you talk about the worst election in Nigeria, It is the Edo election. It's a reference point. Therefore, I'm very optimistic. There is hope that at the end of all this brouhaha, we'll be able to see a good state that is functioning. Just
Oh my God. Leave me hope. Thank you. Well, let's say, my viewers, how are you? You guys are glued with me. Well, let's say you are glued with us. Thank you so much. Thank you. And also, I'll be asking you questions, what you want us to deliberate on. Also, give me some topics too, like, okay, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. My co-hosts are ready to, deliberate and give you all you need. At all. Etiosa, welcome. I will say Kakabo, I'm going to let you go, sir, unless you have anything to give us. So there is hope. They said there is hope. Every time I'm losing hope, there is hope. There is hope. Even in the midst of all this chaos, all this smoke, we have hope. Ogbe has hope. There is hope. Mr. Agbedio, let's say Kakabo. Should I let you go now? Hey, tell me, do you guys want to stay more or you want us to go now? Because Mr. Ogbe, we give us and give us and give us. Etiosa Masia, you may do subscribe. Can you subscribe to the channel and share? Ero Gladys, well, let's see. Let me see what you wrote here. My dear Governor Baseki, we the civil servants are going to miss you, my baby. Because Wamara Mudia you pon black every Friday. No, there was nothing like that. On the 26th, I'll be 25th, pack up on your phone. So, I'm just praying there is hope. In my way, there is hope. You guys type hope. Anthony, tell me, or when do we have any idea about the different dates of birth of Monday? Thank you. I like this topic. Raise them for us, even if we are not, even if we don't remember, because any thought on that, sir? Because only a day before the election, the night before the election, there was a paper flying around, whether CTC, flying around that Monday was disqualified because of these 3 different dates of birth. But has it been swept under the carpet?
No, it has not been swept under the carpet. They said that the wheel of justice, it grinds slowly. That's why personally I was surprised at the behavior of Philip Shaibu. You got a court judgment, and that's not the final court in the land.
You see, Monday still participated in the election.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was surprised at Shaibu, who calls himself a deputy governor. So he doesn't. He got judgment. So that's not the final court in the land.
They went to appeal.
Yeah, that case has been appealed as far as I understand it. So definitely the case is going to keep going on. The different dates of birth. One of them is that on his PVC card,
it's different.
Yes. So you register to be a voter. I'm not a politician. I don't want to run for election. If peradventure I just want to be able to exercise my franchise, I want to vote. You go to INEC and you register. So his registration says one date of it's different from when he went to INEC and said, I want to contest to be a senator of Asan Central in Edo State. That's a different date of birth. So the certificate that he showed, they said he graduated in one of the schools in Abuja also. But his YX certificate. Yes, so his YX certificate.
My people.
Another date of birth. Madam, you remember in this program, I made mention of something to you. I said Monday that was not born on Monday. So I hope, but I can go back and check those dates out. But none of these 3 dates of birth is on Monday. So if there's any date of birth that is on Monday that fits that particular day, because when you look at the day that he claimed that he was born, he's claiming one particular day. So he claims, for example, 1st of January, this, the other one, he's using that same day. He doesn't want to change his day, not date, his day of birth.
But the year is different.
Yeah, the years are different. He retained the day and the month of birth. But
he kept lying about
the year. So if you look at it carefully, it's only in 1964 that day and Monday matches. We're out from Nigeria. Okay. There is no Nigerian, because it's only we that answers name like Monday, Sunday, and
Friday, Saturday.
And Friday and Saturday. There is no man that will give birth to his son on a Saturday and call him Tuesday or give him a Monday. Mm-hmm. So those his date of birth are really questionable, and they are not like that of Tinubu, because Tinubu's date of birth were argued in another jurisdiction in Chicago based on the papers that he submitted. But all these originating papers from Monday Okpebolo are from Nigeria. That's our own jurisdiction. So our court, if they really want to be courts of competent pronouncing judgment, they should be able to see. There should be no problem in going to see his WAEC, see his date of birth in INEC. So that should be. That's just like the case of David Lyon in Bayelsa. Yes, in Bayelsa.
Bayelsa, okay.
Yes, it's just exactly the same of that David Lyon in Bayelsa. The deputy who had different dates of birth, and eventually he was kicked out.
Well, let's hope. Is that a topic for debate? Because he has no wife. He has no wife. He's also got a lot of PDP participants in that different dates of birth case. Baba Jibola, no. Can you read it? If you ask me questions, just put it here and we'll answer you. Well, that's why Godalo, PDP or PDP participants in that different dates of birth.
No,
are they defendants? Are they? Yeah.
Okay, I understand what he's trying to say. You see, all these politicians, all our politicians, when they want to take someone to court, when they want to take someone to court, they don't go there personally. They will take someone, they use people to go to court and file a lawsuit. It is difficult for you to see these our politicians go to court over matters like this, over date of birth. No, they don't do that.
Their name is not there.
No, they don't use their name. They will go and use some other person to go and that's what they do. All of them. When you look at this issue of court cases here and there in Rivers State,
they will not even use their logo.
No. Okay. So when you look at these cases of the only way you have a party coming to contest things like that is when, for example, something like maybe one political party, the issue of nomination. When you have issue of nomination on the other party, the person was not properly nominated. And again, there's a Supreme Court ruling on the issue of nomination. When you are not a part in that election that produced that individual, you cannot challenge it in court in the case of nomination. So, for what they do, like when, for example, the case of Rivers now, when they say, the 23 lawmakers, you don't see Wike's name there. So they will go and use someone. They can go and use Okocha, who's the APC chairman in Rivers. They will use his name to go and lawsuit. Yes, so that's how these politicians they go about it. Even when the issue of those lawmakers in Edo State that didn't take oath of office and all that, there's no Obaseki's name, there's no Shaibu's name on it. So they will always use some other individual, a proxy. They use a proxy to go and do those. But everybody knows that it's the hand of Esau and the voice of.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam. I have to run. I have another minute. I need to.
Let's guys go. Let's see.
Thank you. My brother Obed, thank you so much.
At the end of the show.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soonest. Thank you for all this Truth Without Borders. Wawese. My viewers say Wawese. Ayawese Kakabo Wawese. Hey, viewers of Good Story, Truth Without Borders, we are here. Wawese, if I haven't called your name, just know you are still my lovely one. Wawese. Baba Anthony, Sonny Demi. Thank you for your gift. Did I tell you guys about the star? There is a star on my page now. You can buy you can super chat me. You can super chat me for whatever dollar or whatever naira, and it will go to YouTube. So until it gets to a certain amount before they give it to us, it makes make us bring this program to you, because we have to subscribe to this website that we use to bring these stories. So it makes us, it helps us with the payment too. So they just gave me that super chat now. IA gave me one, and so this is the first one. I'm very excited to see what is going on. Wayawese Kakabo, Nesie Weka, that's your name. I always love it. You know that. Sagbabo Oponga, if you're still here, thank you very much. Who else I haven't called? Orosaye Wilson. Oh, okay. I think we did talk about your thoughts. Yeah, we deliberated on it. Yes, that wiki matter, that yeye man. Okume for undozi. We say but thank you very much. Kevin Fedaro, thank you. I'm just reminding all of you, if you have forgotten to subscribe, it's not late. Just hit that button, okay? It's a subscribe button. Press it, and then the notification bell. So when I come online, you don't even need somebody to tell you again that Madam is online. Mama Gio, you see me today. I'm maybe Mommy Gio today. You don't need anybody to tell you that I'm online. Your notification bell will inform you. Master Fred, Abi Freed, but Clarence, brother, I know you just came back from work. I think you're tired. Thank you so much. I did not see my Irene Finance today. Oh, maybe she don't go work. Anyways, I greet you. She will come to see this program. Osamorabon Baba USA Kakabo. Osamorabon, you were also looking for how to super chat me. Now it's available. Go there and just hit the super chat button, and you find YouTube there, and then you can buy me stars. USA Kakabo. Edith Uso, have you subscribed? Your name is new. Somehow I know the people that are new. I don't know. I look at this board a lot, this comment section, and I know the names, from the last time to this time. I'll be like, so this name is new to me. So I kind of know the names. Egbeyamu, sweet name. Very, very sweet. Okay, have you subscribed? Please do if you haven't. So if I didn't call your name, please, I still love you. And he's Usawaru, thank you very much. All my newcomers, Marvin Barry. All my newcomers. Marvin Barry said, Aswe, I think that you were supposed to write Aswe. Aswe won the election, and the governor, Obaseki, is one of the best governors. Edo will regret losing Obaseki. I'm telling you. It's a given. However, it's not something you look hard to see. This is the best governor, without any fear or favor. Obaseki has been and is still the best governor. We give it to Ali, we give it to Ogbemudia, because Ogbemudia laid the basis for us. If Ogbemudia had not acquired these lands and all of that, Edo would have been too industrialized for us to find somewhere to build. Again, we'll be taking people's land. But Ogbemudia had insight too. He was a visionary leader too, who put in place for governor and for the government properties to be in place where, okay, we will do this here, we will do this. Ogbemudia made sure there was UBTH, there was Uniben, even he procured that land for Batier General Hospital, Ogbemudia Stadium, so many places. So he was a visionary leader. So it wasn't about grab and chop. And then he was I think Midwestern. He was a military governor. It wasn't even a civilian, a military governor. And he did that for us. So kudos. because he laid the basis. But Obaseki, because of this time and day that we are now, he's the best. He's the best. I'm not going to take it away from him. I'm not going to change my mind without unequivocation. I'm not going to take it away. Obaseki is the best, and he remains the best. Hello, Gladys. I see you. Have you subscribed? Oh, my dear governor, we the civil servants are going to miss you. We the civil servants are going to miss you because you really made us know, Mabeki. Our aim was for Aswe to take the baton and just continue. That was all what we thought. Well, okay, Obaseki, Aswe is well learned to a seasoned lawyer. He's, a fine one. So he knows, at least go for orientation. He also is part of the Alawodao movement. Dondi. Am I where he will take us back? Those are in Obaseki's camp. So it would have been easy for Aswe to just take the baton and run with it. But now they want to take us back again 50 years. Mama Kenimahije, getting Bunya, anti-people policy of your Ladian, or Mansuti Marokba. So, George Ameze, I haven't seen this name. See, I know the people who come here. A great debate and very entertaining. Thank you, George Ameze. Oh yeah, hit that subscribe button. Willie, I haven't seen this name. So there are many people here today, the newcomers. For my returning subscribers, kudos. Thank you, Wayawese. For the new ones, Willie, Lawo, subscribe. Hit that button. Usagbovo, I know you. You're my old customer. Wese, have you subscribed? If you haven't, do. Thank you so much. You've been with me for like 2 hours, 25 minutes. Can I pay for your time? But you know what? We bring you the best here, right? Right? You won't. That is not even a topic for debate. We give you the best. That they don't feed us. We don't get a dime. So when I pay or mass, you hear the truth from them. They don't pay. I swear I've never spoken to Aswe in my life. I only see him on TV. Obaseki, I've never spoken to him. We only see him on TV. But if you see good thing and you don't recognize it, the Bible says, woe unto those who see good and call it bad. Like, seriously? Make I play this, whether this song still there, I don't know, but may I play them for you. Not too much. God bless you all. God bless you all for me, for staying with me. God bless you all. God bless you all. Where is my song? I didn't look for a make I play them for you. My picking don't take and come out. I think you guys.
For integrity, competence, and accountability, vote the man wey sabi Dr. Asmelime Ighodalo as governor for Edo State. He is the prudent leader Edo people desire now. Forward ever, backward never. Signed by the concerned Edo indigents in Canada.
He go do man wey sabi integrity. He go better mama, better papa, go better pikin.
I love your name. Tell me that you are liberated. We can
For integrity, competence, and accountability, vote the man wey sabi Dr. Asmelime Ighodalo as governor for Edo State. He is the prudent leader Edo people desire now. Forward ever, backward never. Signed by the concerned Edo indigents in Canada.
He go do man wey sabi integrity. He go better mama, better papa, go better pikin. Better Edo. Forward ever. Be fast where they will prosper. If you not be PDP, we not go vote any other Forward ever. If I swear they will prosper. Alagoda, we know they go back. I swear you go down low for governor.
For integrity, competence, and accountability, vote the man wey sabi Dr. Aswelime Ighodalo as governor for Edo State. He is the prudent leader Edo people desire now. Forward ever, backward never. Signed by the concerned Edo indigenes in Canada.
He go do am, man wey sabi, integrity, he go better mama, better papa, go better pikin, better Edo. Forward ever, Edo. If I swear they will prosper. If he not be PDP, any other party, we no go vote. Forward ever, Edo. If I swear they will prosper. Alagoda, we know they go back. I swear you go down low for governor.
For integrity, competence, and accountability, vote the man wey sabi Dr. Aswelime Ighodalo as governor for Edo State. He is the prudent leader Edo people desire now. Forward ever, backward never. Signed by the concerned Edo indigenes in Canada.
He go do am, man wey sabi, integrity, he go better mama, better papa, go better pikin, better Edo. Forward ever, Edo. If I swear they will prosper.
Sonny, you want me to sing? Okay, what do you want me to sing, Sonny? Tell me quickly, quickly. My people are still waiting. I don't want to wait 5 minutes. We are closing. 5 minutes. Sonny want me to sing. Go yata mame. Area Mama, sing for us with your voice. And did I tell you I sing? That's one of my hobbies. I sing a lot. I sing and I dance. So my cultural musical. Sonny, can you remind me what you want me to sing of? Please write it here and I will sing. Tell you, Mama, before my people leave me. Oh yeah. I want to let them go. They've been with me for 2 hours, 30 minutes. Who does that? These are good people of the truth. They love the truth. Oh yeah, Sonny, oh yeah, right now. I'm waiting for you to write something so that I can go. You know, sir. So it's not bad. Wagima pomo same owese. What do you know, sir? Owese. Wapomo same owese nebukan. Nuna yugwe guima. Yenuna sima kede. Nuna yegbe name owese nebukan. Eyiwe pomo kenwe o. Uroma keni Jesu. Pomo kenwe o. Senegoka, ye gbe ya pome. You know ya pome o. Ye mi ya pome baba me go we Senegoka. Wagi mari you no sao. Wagi mari e pome no. Wagi mari ro no. We Senegoka pomo kene. Uroma kene. Pomo keni Jesu we Senegoka. Why I say, yeah, me one next week. Before next week, I will drop another short video. I love to drop short videos. Okay, the reason this one is long is because I bring guests here. But the short videos I do are just, sometimes I'll just be coming from work and there's this thing that is hot. Okay, let me catch it. I'll just do one quick video inside the car. But this one, it has to be long. Why I will say. So I will see you soonest, maybe tomorrow or next. Every time there's an update coming, every time there's an update coming. So I will see you when I see you. Well, soonest when I see you. Thank you, my people. God bless you. I'll let you go now. I love all of you.